Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a episode of Mariner of Spirit. I'm Greg. I'm your host, and we have another great show tonight. Before we go ahead and bring our guests on, I'm going to go ahead and mention a few things, and that I do it every show, but I think it's really important to go ahead and support these people. So what I'm going to start off with is the people I support. And number one is Autographs, and that's Tim Miley from up in Wisconsin. And Tim does a great job with a benefit that he does around the areas, usually Michigan, Wisconsin, Illinois. And he does benefits to raise money for homeless animals. And he does an awesome job. And he started it off when he lost his pup a long time ago. I can remember when it happened, and he didn't know what he was going to do, where he was going to go, and he decided to go ahead, and he had a picture of his dog and him. So he went ahead and he went to one of the Paracons when they were plentiful back in the day and took the pictures with him, had copies made up, and sold them. And the money he collected, he started to send it to the homeless shelters. So, and that just grew and grew. And next thing he had all of his friends in the paranormal community speaking for him, and he had some great events. There's been I think I've been to 3 now, and they were really great events. So kudos to Tim, his new wife, and how they carry it, because he's continuing to do it this year. Secondly is PKC, Paranormal Kicks Cancer, with Chris Gaskowski and Alex Wilkinson out of Florida. And they raise money doing benefits at haunted houses and events that they have around the area, northern Florida. They even went ahead and did one up in Tennessee. A couple of them there. One was at Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. They do an awesome job. They're still doing it now, and that's been a couple of about 3 or 4 years now too for them. So, and the third one is the Jessica Petrie Foundation, and she was the daughter of Howard Petrie of PUN, the Paranormal United Network, and she passed. And the foundation is a resource for expecting mothers, families of pregnant women with mental illness. And Howard's had some bad luck in that direction, to lose his daughter, and I support him because he started to do this a year and a half ago, something like that, and right away, I just said, Howard, whatever I could do to help you out with your people, I'm more than willing to go ahead and help you. And I says, this is what I was going to do. I still don't have logos, and that's what I'm going to work on when I get some time. But I've got like 4 shows with my 2 shows and Reggie's 2 shows during the week, and then Monday night is Psychics Unite. So it's hard to stick everything on a Saturday and Sunday. So, but it's well worthwhile, and I don't mind doing it. I'm just saying it's a little hard to get it done in a timely manner. So, and then the last thing I want to mention before I bring our guests on is the authors that I support. And if you check them out on Amazon, they have a lot of great books. And I'll start out with Bruce Holliday, Tobias Wayland, Adam Benedict, Kathy Kressel, Sherilyn Cotter, Dr. Heather Lee Langdon, Ron Iacovetti, Tony Rathman, Natalie Jones, Patty Negri, Sylvia Schultz, Amelia Cotter, Rex Nielsen, and David Sloan. And David Sloan, for those people that find that name a little unfamiliar, he happens to be the guy that has Robert the Doll down at Key West. So without further ado, I want to say thank you to all those great authors. And without further ado, I want to go ahead and bring my guests on tonight. We have the great Christina Bloom, and we have, I'm going to just say, right, I could say the whole name, Bobby Resnick Calkins.
Yep.
Did I pronounce the Calkins right?
You did.
Okay, awesome. That's a great start. As long as I can get that part out.
You forgot 2 other authors that are amazing. Miss Christina Bloom,
yes,
right here in front of us.
And yourself.
No, I don't have a book yet, but Barnaby Jones, for finding Hayden.
Okay. Remind me at the end of the show, and then I'll add them on. I shouldn't have any problem. I was thinking I was missing Christina when I was doing it.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd be reminded of that fact when we started the show.
And you were.
We'll tune you up.
Thanks, Rez.
I did have a show. But anyway,
Red Road is not hijacking the show. I'm sorry, we're just guests.
Yeah, we're not hijacking.
That is my first question, because I am, believe it or not, unfamiliar with Red Road Paranormal, and I know it's your group, you guys together, and you have that name for your podcast. Right.
We don't actually have a group. We only have the podcast.
Yep.
Well, you got two people. Isn't that a group?
Right, but we both belong to other groups.
Yeah, we belong to other teams.
Oh, so
we
there's
both
a
belong
line,
to other teams. Yeah.
There's a line drawn in the sand, and then
there
you guys
is.
got it. You can't cross the line.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
We have done a little work together in the past.
We have.
But
looking forward to doing more in the future.
Yep.
But yeah, what Red Road Paranormal is the YouTube channel and soon to be podcast.
Yep.
Now, why do you call it a vodcast?
Because it's a video podcast.
That was on her. I thought they were all the same. Vodcast.
Yeah.
People talking.
Yeah.
You take the V and you put the P there, and you take the P and then you put the V
there. Yeah.
All in all, it's the same. It's the same thing. But how's that show going?
Great.
Yeah, we just recently took a little bit of a break over the holidays, and we're jumping back in this coming week.
Yep.
So, yeah.
How many shows have you had?
Oh, you know what? I can look that up for you.
No, I'm just.
We've had just shy of 40 shows, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the high 30s. I'm not sure exactly, but yeah, it's in the high 30s.
Do you think it's better to do it the way you guys video it, or do you think it's better to do it live?
It depends on your guest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and not everyone can roll with the live. Some
Mm-hmm.
people you got to kind of work with, get the information out of them, so it's a little bit easier on video then. And
Yeah.
some people aren't comfortable doing lives.
Yeah.
You know, they just said they haven't found their zen in it yet.
Their zen in it.
Yep. Yeah, and honestly, it's like mostly we have done recorded because of scheduling. It's difficult to schedule the two of us plus a guest. Like that can sometimes be very challenging. So it's easier to record when we all have the availability to record.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we last left, our conversation between basically it was between separately both of you people and me.
Right.
We dealt with the Wisconsin end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Rez you're up in Wisconsin too, correct?
Yep. I'm on the Stockbridge Indian Reservation.
Okay. So, how big of a reservation is that compared to the one in Hayward?
We're pretty small. You know, in all reality, if you look at a map and you'll see like Shawano County, and then you see Menominee County, how they're kind of like right on top of each other. And if you look at Menominee, it's almost a full square box, except for this one itty bitty little piece missing. We're that itty bitty little piece that's missing. That's our reservation.
I gotta say, Rez, you kind of got that Johnny Depp thing going on today.
Oh yeah,
Johnny Depp.
You know, pirates. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Find me some rum and let's go for a chip.
You'd be doing that all
Jack Sparrow. That's what I was trying to think of. You got that Jack Sparrow thing going on today. Yeah.
I do like Captain Jack. Crown Royal is better though.
Is it? I wouldn't know.
I'm glad I don't do that anymore.
Yeah, me too.
Once or twice a year, I can't do it. That's
crazy.
I can't do hangovers. Getting too old for that.
So now a technical question pertaining to collecting evidence or going ahead and doing live sessions with a spirit box. What is your special? Do you have any favorite method for going ahead and doing that? Do you prefer to do it individually, or like what we do on my show on Wednesdays, we do doubles?
Actually, this past investigation that I did with Caps, it was the first time we did a double together. It was me and Barnaby. So, unfortunately, I can't speak any more about that because it's not hasn't been aired yet. Okay. But for the most part, all the ones I've done have been single. I've done it twice live now. Otherwise, usually it's all been recorded while we're at a location. So it's either way, it's pretty much fine by me. Because I go in my little zone and whatever comes out, comes out.
Right. How about you, Christine?
I don't think I've ever done a double. I'm not sure what that even means, but I've just by myself with just my intuition, my psychic ability. I know that I have been recorded, but it's not been for a show. It's just been for evidence. So I don't think I've ever been. Oh yeah, wait, Barnaby got me one time. Yeah. He recorded me, but he didn't tell me it was going to be on a show. So
how did you find it?
He told me about it, and Rez told me about it.
No, I know. I mean your experience.
Oh, I was just in a parking lot talking to a turkey.
A turkey.
Yeah, but it wasn't like a live turkey. It was what do you call those?
It's one of like them hunting practice turkeys.
Yeah, like you put out to draw more turkeys to you. What is that called? I can't remember. Decoy. Thank you. It was a turkey decoy that apparently was causing some trouble, and they wanted to know if it was haunted. So yeah.
You were sitting in an automobile, and you were doing the.
No, I was standing in a parking lot. Nope, I was standing in a parking lot talking to the turkey.
So, okay, now Christina, just start.
No, she did not. I don't even know how to make that sound.
You got to practice that a little bit.
I gotta
always want-
practice it. Yeah,
I always,
yeah.
I always wanted to do that until I saw a guy get attacked at the base of a tree. He was hunting a turkey, and the turkey attacked him.
Serves him
Knocked
right.
his, knocked his gun out of his hands and almost walked right up the front of him.
Oh,
Damn.
I love it.
It's Revenge of the Turkey.
Revenge of the Turkey. But yeah, apparently Turkey Jerky just didn't like his name. So
Yeah, you know what would be really neat is to have you two together and come on my show, the Wednesday show.
I was gonna say, I thought we were on your show.
I was a little confused. Yeah, I was a little confused.
I have another one on Wednesday, and it's actually One Spirit Connect, and we do double sessions on Estes live.
I'm out.
But
I don't like Estes. I'm sorry. I just no. I think my ears are a little too sensitive for that. I don't like it.
a lot of times, the way this started was my journey that I took as far as my spirituality was concerned. And there were a bunch of guys that I think I told that story about the round table, and I think I told it to you guys where there was all the big spirit box guys. There were some big guys there, and they were talking about how they connected, and they went ahead and they would get their boxes to work, or they would work for them, and it's because you build up a relationship with your spirit box. Now, what was interesting about it is the fact that I was trying to figure out. We were at a for our school in Iowa, and one of the guys that was in my group and myself were doing a double, and we were filming it. And about 3 weeks before this happened, I was doing a couple on the air, and I started to pick up a ticking above the white noise. So you had the voices down here, and then you had the white noise, and then above the white noise there would be almost like a ticking noise. But I went ahead and looked into it a little bit and found out that it was actually they had a space, one of the Voyagers or one of the satellites that was going out, and they had this little thing where they went ahead and they said, well, this is the noise that space makes. And it was very similar to that, because there's a little pinging in it every once in a while and that kind of thing. So I went ahead, I brought up to that group about it, because it was like, does this qualify for anything that you guys do? And I said, what did it mean to have that signal come through? And they sort of looked at each other, the two guys. It was Iacovetti and it was Tony Rathman. And they were looking at each other, and they started to smile, and they said, Isn't that what Frank was all about? Pertaining to Frank Sumption, he was the man that really started the whole thing out with that. There was a copy of Mechanics Illustrated or Science Illustrated, and inside the cover was a picture of a radio, like from Radio Shack, and you could go ahead and build this and actually go ahead and get it to work, and you could talk to space people. So it was that kind of thing, and he went ahead and he took it out of the magazine, went ahead and bought the parts that he needed, and made the first spirit box. And then that's when he became the Purple Princess. If you know that part.
I don't.
That was his code name for
Okay.
when he talked spirit box.
Whoa.
Wow, I thought he did a flip.
I thought he did too.
My phone decided it was going to move on its own. Someone didn't want me to see that portion.
But what I was wondering is that, do you do a lot of spirit box work?
I'm starting to do a little more of it with the team and stuff like that. It was something I was really interested in to start with. And so when I joined, I told Barnaby I was interested in it. And after being on team for a little while, he kind of said, okay, well, here, give it a shot. Here you go. First time I did it was on a live stream, for one of our investigations, Halloween specials. So now if he doesn't feel like doing it, I usually end up doing them, or we do, like I said, we just did a duel the other time we were out. So it's starting to pick up more and more.
I just recently got a spirit box, so I'm still practicing how to use it. So, yeah.
Anytime you need any help or anything, any questions or anything, give me a call.
Okay.
I don't have all the answers.
Right. Mostly I just need to know like how to slow it down so I can hear it better when I put it into Audition. So, yeah.
There's speeds on it. There should be. What kind of box is it?
Oh, I don't know. I could go get it and show it to you. I have no idea what the name brand is. It just says spirit box on it.
S-Box, probably.
SB7?
I don't know.
Is it red and black or orange and black?
No, it's silver. It looks like a little tape recorder thingy.
It look like that?
Well, bring it over more.
Nope. Similar to that, but not exactly.
Then this is the Pro now, the bigger one.
Okay. Yeah.
But this is a good one. So is the 7. I've used the 7 for a bunch of years.
I've been thinking about trying out an SB7 because I've been using an S-Box this entire time. I just kind of wanted to know, how the difference would be and
so
stuff
using
like
the red and black one.
Yep, that's what I've been using.
That's a good box.
Yep,
I've got one here.
We've got some comments. Anton Ritter says, "What is the best type of spirit box to use?"
Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what. It depends on what you want to carry. What you want to go in an investigation with. That's the
one I got.
The reason I don't use this a real lot is because I don't know how you would use it because you got big fat fingers too.
Yep.
And the bigger your fingers are, and these have little controls. So these little red buttons here are what you can control it with. That set your speeds for or set it forward or backwards. It gives you 3 speeds on this one compared to 4 on the straight on the SB7. And for this one, and you can see the difference in the sizes.
Yeah.
But this one can record too.
Yeah.
So if you do a session and you want to record it because you have made contact, that's the best thing to do, I think, is to do this one. But this one, in essence, is the one that really carried it for quite some time. And then all my other boxes are all from Supernatural Inc.
I'd like to get one made up by them guys.
Well,
I've been trying.
This one for being. This one has been really hot lately,
Okay.
and it's an S box, ink box,
Yep.
and then all the other ones are. I can keep on going. These are Nanocoms,
Okay.
and they have different features as far as the sweeps are concerned. And then one of them doesn't even do the sweeps. It does it silently, and every time it hits something, you hear it.
Okay.
Otherwise, you don't have all that interference in the middle.
All the extra static and sweeping.
This is the one I have.
Okay.
You know, I looked at that one too when I was getting ready to buy mine. I thought about it, but no one I knew had tried it yet.
Yeah. You know, the thing is, it records really nicely and it scans really well, and it goes backwards and forwards and all that stuff. And then it comes with a USB and all that you can download it onto your computer and listen to it again.
Right.
That is actually what I was talking about. When you download it onto your computer and you listen to it, how do you slow it down so you can actually hear what's being said? That's the part that I have trouble with once it's on a computer.
You take it to the USB and you put it on your computer, and then you take the file and you slow it down on the file.
That's what I don't know how to do, is slow it down on the file. That's what I don't know how to do. So, yeah.
You should have a range of speeds.
Yeah, somewhere on.
I should. I just don't know how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, there should be some kind of range, playback speed or something like that, and whatever audio program you're using to listen to it.
Yeah.
Go through that later on. And I have a Huff portal too.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That I've had for about 7 years now. That is mind-boggling at times with the things that comes through it. Mm-hmm. Because what you do is it's just an enhancement device that you would use a spirit box and hook it up and into the portal, and the portal has these pedals that do the reverb and all this stuff that enhance the sounds that come through.
Right.
And we've had some real crazy stuff happen with that.
I mean, I think this is just it's a really nice basic box. It records nicely. You have the option not to record.
Where did you get that one from?
It was a birthday gift, so I don't know.
Amazon.
Probably Amazon, yeah. It's a Paranormic. Yeah, it says Paranormic on the back.
Boy, I've seen that emblem before.
Mm-hmm.
There's a guy that sells boxes. I'd have to think about it.
Yeah. And while you're thinking about it, Anthony Caballo, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Anthony.
Anthony's birthday today.
Yeah. He said, y'all can sing me birthday song.
To you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Anthony.
Happy birthday
to you.
Why does the birthday song sound like a funeral march?
It does.
Because we're getting older.
Because when we sing it, we're a little slower. Now, the only way to really do that is what we should have done is you should have started first, Christina, and got in like 3 or 4 words, and then
done it around.
Rez would come in, and then I would come in later on. So then it would all be that's what we do in the family. We jibber jazz shit around.
There you go.
Right.
Anthony says he's fixing to. Anthony says he's fixing to start drinking, and after that rendition of "Happy Birthday," I don't blame him.
Hey, celebrate the way you can, buddy.
Yeah, and that says like row your boat.
We have real talent at that. Row.
we all have real talent. I'm not
So-
sure any of it's musical.
Right? Yeah. No.
There's no musical there. I mean, if you wanted to go ahead and do some Doors music or
There you
something,
go.
just play that all night long. People
Hey,
can
man.
scream.
The Doors. I can do the Doors.
Oh. Jim,
I won't mind having a conversation with him.
Oh, maybe he'll come through with the next seance.
Never know.
now
Stranger things have
I
happened.
don't know if you've listened to Reggie when we do the shows together, but we do. He has a bunch of film that he's done, and with the Spirit Box, and that's the way we started together. And he did a bunch at the cemetery outside of Madison.
Okay.
And if you ever get the opportunity to listen when he's doing it on the show, it's just remarkable the communication that he got. And there's a lady spirit who was the wife of this one gentleman, and I can't get their name, but her name was Dora Winless, and she played the piano. And she actually, when she comes back and she talks, we actually pick up like 3 or 4 notes on the piano.
Nice.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And
Hey,
she
Sydney
started-
Reyes. Sorry, answering the
Sid's
chart.
here. Sid's
Hey,
here.
Sydney.
Oh, you know what? That's what's missing.
I've been answering the chat.
Thank
I
you.
can't see the chat unless it comes up on
Red Road Paranormal.
Yeah, I think that Rez, did you sign in through the YouTube page?
No.
Because every time I post something, it comes up twice.
Yeah, you must have signed in through our YouTube page somehow.
I did, but it should have still only come up once.
Yeah, no. I haven't posted
No.
anything. I came in through Facebook.
Now, do you do any work on the reservation? Have you
Um,
ever done any?
I've been called out for a couple of cleansings over the years, but I've never done any investigations up here at this point. But now that I'm up here and I'm back home full time, I'm sure that's going to be changing.
Would they frown on that?
Oh, no.
No, because it's all spirit.
Exactly. And a lot of times I go with my natural medicines and stuff like that, and I go kind of like a little bit of the old ways. So therefore, it's along our culture.
You start out with a prayer, and
As I'm going through, I'm saying a prayer for both the family and for the ones that are trapped there. And in the process, I'm also letting them know that if they don't belong there, they're getting evicted. It's time to go.
so are you actually crossing them over at that time?
Some I have. Some it's just,
If they show an interest.
yep. If they want to go, they can follow the smoke up to the creator, and he'll take them from there. But if they don't want to go, they at least got to get out of the location that I'm at, that the people need the peace and quiet at.
Can I just interject? Someone has a
Sure.
question for Rez.
Sure.
And Annette wants to know, she was late coming in, but Rez, are you a shaman?
No, actually, a shaman does not exist in my tribal culture. So we have elders and teachers. So I don't really consider myself either one at this time. A lot of people do consider me a teacher, but it is what it is. I'm willing to share my experiences and my knowledge with anyone.
I believe you're a very patient teacher.
I try.
And I'm saying that seriously. From the first time I met you, that's what I was picking up.
I like to stay calm and let them go at their pace. You could like the old phrase, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make a drink.
Yeah.
So you lead them to the water, and when they're ready to drink, be there for them.
And
How do
that
you
has
feel
another
about that?
question for you. Sorry.
Oh,
Oh,
go ahead.
boy.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the chat.
That's
And
okay. That's,
I'm not trying to take over your show, Greg, I promise, but I'm
no, that's
looking at the
okay.
chat.
No. And you're doing a great job. I should hire you. We
Yeah,
could do
there you
this
go.
together. We
There
could do
you
it.
go.
We could do a show all three together.
There you go.
But and that's next comment was fill me in on your tribe. Fill me in about your tribe.
Stockbridge, Muncie. We're a band of the Mohicans. So that little love story you might have seen years ago or read about, not true. We're still here.
Yeah. She
So,
also said you seem very calm, but I'd hate to piss you off.
bingo.
I'm assuming she's talking to you.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
and that's been around for a long time. She's a nice
Yep.
lady.
Cool.
She seems like a very nice lady.
That the comment up above is interesting. My voice would make for a torture for spirits. She
Yeah,
says.
that was Annette too.
Yeah. That's
Hey, she's
you
got a
didn't
good
mention
sense of
that one.
humor.
She does.
She does. She is. She used to be on Greg Bakken a lot.
Okay. I've been on with Greg.
The Sunday night show at 10 o'clock that he had.
Yeah.
Yep.
We were on there one time.
Yep.
That was a cool show.
Yep.
He's worked on mine on Wednesdays, but he's he's just as busy as I am.
Right.
5 days a week.
Yeah. Annette has another comment. Annette, just so you know, Rez can't see any of your comments, so I actually have to read them to him. And she said, no, I'm a bee, but one of the best bees you'll ever meet.
All right.
Now, I can't say that about Annette. She seems like a nice lady to me, but
I'm getting cool vibes from her.
yep, me too.
If
I'm
it's-
just
if
reading
it's
what
just-
she wrote there.
If it's just a bee, maybe she's a honeybee.
No, it's
Maybe.
not just a bee. She wrote out the word.
Ah,
But there's a lot of comments that are great.
Mm-hmm.
And
There's
I
been a
really
lot of them.
I really like that Red Road Paranormal though. That's really cool.
Thank you.
You guys got to wear cowboy hats.
no.
It doesn't it sort of take you back to,
It takes you back to the more of the traditional ways, to the roots, to the culture.
Okay.
Are you talking about the logo, Greg?
No, I'm talking about Red Road Paranormal.
Oh,
Just
Red Road
the three
Paranormal.
words
Just
together.
the three
It
words.
sounds like, old cowboy movie that you'd see in the 50s and 60s.
one of the most spaghetti westerns?
Yeah.
No,
Hey, the
that was
Indians get
later
to
on.
win for one.
It was really unbelievable, to say the least. There's been so many corrections as far as the heritages are concerned with all the nationalities,
Yeah.
as well as yours. Like mine and Christina's. Families go back. I found out that my last name means blackbird in Polish. And the translation of that literally means that if you remember the guy that was all dressed in black and he had the black hat and he would go with the wagon and pick up the dead people and bring them back to his castle.
Okay.
That's the surname is Koss. And then you had the Kozinskis and the Kowalskis and all the other ones were like the son of, the daughter of, all that is the same in all the nationalities. But I found it interesting when they said that, because it turns out that he was an undertaker. And he actually had a castle, because that's where he would take the bodies to, where they'd be protected.
Interesting.
I had no idea. My native part is from Alaska, but I'm pretty much a mutt.
Have you,
I'm a
have,
I'm a big mix of a lot of things, so
does you
yeah.
go? You have roots in Alaska?
Yep.
My native heritage is from Alaska. Yeah.
I'm going.
Yeah.
We're going there in June.
Are you? Cool.
Where are you
Take
going?
the cruise up there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's on
Nice.
my thing. That's on my bucket list. But this year I'm finishing. I'm doing a different bucket list item, and I am going to England for 10 days. So,
Did you
Are
buy
you
my trunk yet?
are you going to go
dude,
see?
you know what it takes to get a triple X trunk?
Call up FedEx Express and just put me in a box then.
There you go.
Triple
Back
X
to the beef jerky and water, sun drop.
triple X trunk.
I think it's
Sounds
more like a
like
5X, but still.
sounds
Just
like
being nice.
an elephant trunk.
Well, a trunk that like the old steamer trunks
You know,
to
I'm
take you to
only
England with me.
I'm only 6 foot 325 pounds, so you need a big trunk.
Yeah.
Did you play football in high school at all?
I did. I played for Hinsdale South in Illinois and in Romeoville. So I was a Hornet and a Spartan.
I saw that. I saw that on your page, Romeoville,
Yep.
and I thought, wow, because we were from. Well, I grew up in Chicago, but then we moved to Arlington Heights.
Okay.
And, but that was in the '60s.
Yeah, family is floating around down there.
I do too. Jim Omert, am I saying that correctly? Has a message in there for you, Greg.
Got the Ink S box coming. Look forward to it. They really work. Walk away and you hear them talking each other to each other. I guess you missed the word. I have magnetic energy in many dolls.
I think that's what it says. Yeah. Night vision
Night
camera
showed
showed a
up the
doll
doll
moving and kicking a ball off the table and making lights flash. Wow. That's a lot.
Well, you
I'd
got
like to see that.
You have to talk to Anthony Savalos, Jim, because he's a keeper of the dolls too.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He showed us his dolls. I'm like, okay.
He is Anthony has the one, and when we were on the other night, he has the one doll and it's backwards, so it doesn't look at you.
Yeah.
And it's because that's the way she wants to be.
Yeah.
So now you don't have any dolls, do you, Christina?
No. They creep me out. I mean, we've got stuffed animals because my grandson spends a lot of time here, but dolls just creep me out. I don't know. It started because my grandmother gave me an antique doll that she got. My great grandmother got antique dolls as a small child, and she gave one to me and one to my cousin, and we were both really freaked out about it. But I had it setting up on display, and I got up one night to go to the bathroom, and the moon was shining on this doll, and it was the kind that had like the ivory teeth. Freaked me out.
Was it a German one?
I think so, yeah. Well, she was from Germany, so yeah. But it freaked me out, so I put it back in its case, and that was that.
Did you see what it says?
Yeah, I will be communicating with the spirits here in a few. Okay.
All right. I need to get down there to Texas to visit them.
Yeah. I've got a lot on my schedule this year, but Texas isn't on there just yet, so we'll see.
I'm
were
pretty open still.
Are you?
Yeah.
That would be a place to go.
Yeah.
Except he's into the forest big time.
It's okay. I can go play in the woods.
We We were there last year. We were there in end of April, and we were there for 3 days. And I think in 3 days we did, I don't remember how many, 9 or 11 investigations.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
it was crazy. I
That's
got
a
there,
lot.
I got in on the airplane at 11 o'clock at night. He picked me up at the airport, and we took off and we met the team, and it was right by the woods. And we went ahead and we did some investigations.
Nice.
And I ended up getting back home about 6 o'clock in the morning. And you
That
could
sounds
have just
about right.
Yep.
you could have laid me down and stepped on me 100 times. I wouldn't have known the difference.
Greg, Annette has some messages for you. And Anthony says, yes, they're getting lit with me tonight. One big party.
Okay. I'll tell you what, in that I wouldn't do them justice, and they have to be treated with respect.
Mhm.
And Anthony is the man above you. I would get a hold of Anthony, and you go through his page. He's the leader of our group, and that's the Texas Wraith Hunters. And he would be able to go ahead and help you out with that. She says I can't give them away. You know, that's up between you and Anthony what you do.
Yeah.
You know,
She has, yeah. Just Russ is sitting there going, I don't know what's going on. So she said, I have antique private ceramic and wooden dolls, trying to get rid of them.
I actually have YouTube up on my phone, but any of the Facebook comments I can't see though.
Okay.
So
well, that's why we'll continue to read them. That's no biggie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
But that's really interesting.
One of these days I'll get my computer up and going. It's sitting in a bin behind us.
Well, you did just recently move, so
yeah.
Just don't lick the wires when you're putting them together.
Yeah.
Oh man, really? You mean I'm not supposed to stick it in, put my tongue to it to make sure I got voltage?
Well, you can, but it's not going to feel good.
It's gonna curl your hair a lot, Les.
A lot more than it already is.
I could use a prayer. What do you think? You know? Get a little Jerry curl in there.
Maybe get rid of some of that static, right?
You look like one of those guys out of Mod Squad.
That would be funny.
Right.
Smoke out of your ears. Oh, that's crazy. So what do you got? What do you have planned for this year already, Christina?
Oh boy. Let me see. Well, this month I'm in 2 places in Wisconsin. Tomorrow I'm in Wausau at Scotty's. I think it's a bar and grill, but anyway, there's a fair going on there, and then there's one at the Center for Living Well in Iola at the end of the month, or not the end of the month. Let me just pop this up and look.
Get the calendar up.
The 25th, yep. And then I'm leaving for Saranac Lake. I'll be back on February 11th. Let's see.
These are all psychic fairs, correct?
Some of them are. Yeah, some of them are. I'm doing the Penn, Ohio Bigfoot and Paranormal Conference.
We have to talk about that too.
Yeah, I'm doing that one, but I have like 3 of them before that. 1 in Michigan, 2 in Wisconsin in March. A MetaParaPro in April. In May, I've got the CAPS convention, but the weekend before that, I'm at the Hiawatha Fair again in Escanaba, Michigan.
I gotta remember to get on that one. I spaced that.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, April. I'm going to be in Wausau tomorrow. Stop by Scotty's, where there's lots of cool stuff going on there. And then I'm leaving for England on the 22nd of May and doing the Cryptic Conference UK out there. And then hanging out with my friend and business partner, Glenn, for a few, like 10 days. And I should be back early in June. And then I've got more Metaparapro fairs in Ashland, Wausau, and Bemidji, Minnesota. Let's see. I've got Paranormal Rockdown in July. That's at
I'll be
Broadhead.
there.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be there.
All right.
April tomorrow is 11 to 3 at Scotty's. So I hope you stop by and say hi. I'd love to see you. Let's see.
That's April Mueller.
Yep. And then we've got
She seems to be a real nice lady too.
Yeah. I will be doing the Paranormal and Horror Con in Augusta, Maine, beginning of September.
Oh wow.
Yep. I'm excited about that one.
She's hit the big time.
And let me see. At the end of September, I'm doing a paranormal summit in Covington, Kentucky. Hiawatha Fair in.
Who's putting on the Covington, Kentucky one?
What's her name? Maria. I just talked to her today. Let me just. Yeah. She owns a paranormal traveling company, which is cool. What's her name here? Maria Schmidt. Yeah. So she's putting that one on. It's the first time they're having it there, and it's not a Paracon so much as it is a summit at a haunted theater. So she had asked me to do an event in Chicago, but I'm going to be in New York when she has that one coming up. So yeah, I got a lot of fun stuff going on.
That's awesome.
Yeah, another Hiawatha Fair in October, Marquette, Michigan Fair in November. So yeah, I've got a lot of stuff going on, but I also have a lot of holes in my calendar. So if you guys know of any cool stuff that's happening that's reasonable for me to get to, I'd be happy to check that out.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to hear what. We're a fragment of the original GRS group.
Okay.
And from the south side of Chicago. And there was a breakup, and there were like 7 of us that left all at one time. And a lot of them were from the south side, and me and Mike Wright. Mike Wright is in Fox Lake, which is.
Yeah, I know where that's at.
Mm-hmm. I do too.
And I'm pretty much parallel, even with him, only east of him, on the other side of the chain of lakes. So,
cool.
So, but we discuss the last time you were on, both of you. I don't know if I mentioned it to either one of you about that island on the Chippewa Flowage that's called Ghost Island.
Yeah, I think we did talk about that.
We did.
Okay, that was when I was on your guys' show, right?
Yep.
Okay, what's your take on it now? Have you even?
I haven't looked any more into it yet.
I haven't either, and I haven't been there. But if I tune into it intuitively or psychically, I feel like there is spirit energy there, but I feel like it's been kind of overblown and commercialized.
Well, there's not a whole heck of a lot of people that are alive that know about it anymore. Right.
But so, there's still, I think there's a different ghost island though that I'm thinking of that's further north, or I don't know if it's further north, but further west. That's not on the flowage. It's over near the Hayward area.
Well, that's the Chippewa Flowage.
Is that the Chippewa? Is that the same one?
That's pretty much.
Because I think there's a resort there.
On that one?
At least on Ghost Lake.
Oh, then that is a different one.
It's a different one. Okay.
That might be on the other side of Hayward.
Maybe.
That might be on the west side of Hayward.
Could be. I don't know. I just looked on a map and I saw Ghost Lake, and there's a resort in that area. So, my friend Wendy and I were going to go check it out. Just, to stay out of trouble and all that, right?
I don't know. That sounds like you're getting into trouble.
It's a possibility.
we never really talked that much about Vilas
Right.
and some of the places that I have up there. But
Mm-hmm.
now that it's all been torn down,
Mm-hmm.
it's sort of the house that we stay in was the house to a guide that I knew
Right.
for probably 40 years, and he's there.
Wow.
But I haven't tried to talk to him because I got everybody else in the house. And if I
Right.
pull out my spirit box, then
My
somebody,
family just expects it. They just like, okay, whatever. She's doing her thing again.
it's bad if you want to go over the main part, the main lodge, and do it over there. That's fine.
Yeah.
But mom and grandma and everybody else don't like that kind of stuff to go on.
Well, they don't want to
Yeah.
know who's sleeping in their house with them.
Exactly.
Right.
Who's
I know.
tickling her toes?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
My first night back home in the stolen house, I was going through my paranormal bag and I got my spirit box on. I went to go turn it on. It went through like 2 sweeps, and I hear from upstairs from my boy Vinny going, "I thought we don't play with our toys in the house." So I just shut it off and put it away. I got busted by the kid. So, I taught him,
That's funny.
rule number 1: you don't play with your toys in the house. You go outside or go somewhere else to play with them and test them. Just so if you don't know what you're doing, you're not bringing anything in.
Yep.
Have you
Well,
guys
guess what? You got called out.
Yep.
busted?
Busted. Yep.
But I already know everyone that's here, so we're good.
Well, there you go.
Have you done a lot in the wintertime?
Usually paranormal picks up for the team in the wintertime. But last year was pretty slow, and this year's been pretty slow so far. So usually this is our busy time for our paranormal investigations, and a lot of our cryptid stuff just happens to be during the summers.
I know you're. I can't. I forgot his name again. You're the guy that runs your team,
Barnaby Jones.
Barnaby. Barnaby. I asked him a couple times to be on,
Yep.
and I keep on forgetting.
Oh,
You
he
know,
works nights though.
Yeah, he's a night shifter.
He's at work.
No, actually, I think he's off on Fridays. I'm not
Is
sure.
he off on Fridays? Okay. I was going to
think
say
so. So
I
you
know
might
he
be able to
works
catch
like
him.
second shift.
But I
Yep.
was, I'm going to try to go ahead and make a point of it. And if you don't hear him say that I asked him,
Yep.
please remind me, because I'm old and I'm like a dog.
Right. Well, we've been trying to get on together on this show for a year now, damn near.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great having you guys on together. I think it's really
It
neat.
is.
Yeah.
You
We
know,
like hanging out.
right?
It's all good.
Call her my bestie for a reason.
That's right.
It's something that Brandon's not around. It's like, where the heck is Brandon? And he's still in the Carolinas helping people dig out,
Yep.
I guess.
Actually, I was just chatting with him a little bit earlier. You'll be seeing him with us hopefully in a few weeks.
Awesome. Well, a few weeks. Yeah, we'll talk.
Yeah.
I'll be in New York with my paranormal group because I actually belong to the Adirondack Park Paranormal Society. That's where my paranormal group is in upstate New
Wow.
York. So, yeah, I'll be hanging out with them some while I'm out there. For a couple
Get him
weeks.
on the show.
There you go.
I could do that, but just trying to get them together to do their own podcast is like,
Well, just give me a message and talk to them, and whoever shows up shows up.
there
Right.
you go.
But it's got to be when you're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they're on a different time frame, right? So, like, we start at 9:00 here. It's already 10:00 there.
Right, it's an
Yeah.
hour later there.
So,
But that's no biggie to a lot of those people.
yeah.
Now,
it
are
is.
you near Lake Chautauqua?
Not real close to Lake Chautauqua, but I know where it is. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of in that area.
because when I was on the tour for
Hmm.
all those years, we fished at Chautauqua for musk.
Okay. Okay.
That was a beautiful, beautiful spot.
It is.
I would go back there in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Pretty much all of upstate New York is gorgeous.
Yeah.
It is absolutely gorgeous. I love the Adirondack Mountains. You know, the Catskills are pretty too along the Hudson Valley, and where we go is pretty close to the Canadian border. So it's about 45 minutes from Canada.
I'm still debating right now the next couple of weeks whether or not I'm going back up to where we are up on Lake of the Woods, because
Yeah.
it's like I have some things that are going on, and it's going to be up to the doctors because I got a bass boat, so I don't have anything that's got high sides.
Hmm.
I think I'll have no trouble doing what I do, but if something happens,
Yeah.
it won't cut it.
There's not much for snow up there right now anyway. It's all ice. It's
I know. I saw it.
Mhm.
I We stay on Oak Island in the middle of. We stay in Oak Island, Minnesota, and it's
Mhm.
in the middle of Lake of the Woods,
Right.
and that was part of the treaty of 1880 something, 89 or something like that,
Okay.
and it's split between the United States. The United States got this peninsula.
Mhm.
They call it up by the northwest angle, and then there's three islands out there that are U.S. now, that have been for quite some time. So we actually are in Canada fishing in Canadian water, and when we go back at night, we go into the island and we're on U.S.
Hmm.
So the immigration you know how the Canadians are with their immigration anyway. They're just crazy. So it gets nuts. But what do
You
you
know,
what do you guys
I have to tell you,
so what do you
last time I went to Canada, I got into Canada no problem, but they ripped my car apart getting out of Canada and I didn't stop anywhere. The US customs like tore my car apart looking, I don't know what they were looking for, but they pulled me over and went through my whole car.
They thought you were one of them dirty old hippies. That's what they were doing.
No
They're
idea, man, but I did not stop. I came in Detroit and I left in New York, but I drove straight through.
you came through Detroit?
In through Canada. Yeah. Went into Canada and Detroit, drove
Oh boy.
to Niagara Falls, crossed over into back into the States at Niagara Falls. Never stopped, didn't get gas, didn't get coffee, nothing. Went straight through. And yeah, US Customs stopped me.
You were nice to him, right?
Yes, I'm still here. I'm not in jail.
I had a guy with us one year, and it turned around and says they're going to tear the car or they're going to tear the boat apart. I says that's what they do. That's their
Yeah.
job. I
Yeah.
said, and he looks at me. He says, "Aren't you going to stop them?" He says, "No, I'm not going to stop them. You want to stop them? If you
I
stop
wasn't.
them, you
No.
ain't going to make it with us.
No.
We'll pick you up on the way back."
Yeah,
Because
but it was
they
US Customs that went through my car, not Canadian Customs. I got into Canada just fine. Getting back out of Canada, that was another story.
we always figured that there were certain years that they would do the potatoes and the beef, and why they would do that, and they would never let anybody know. But you got up there and they would say, "Got any potatoes?" You go, "Yeah, I got a whole bag back there." You got any beef? Because it was like, what are these guys going to have this giant barbecue?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
They're stocking their
Maybe.
freezers at home.
It's like, what the heck?
Hey, Shadow Seekers. Good
Where's
evening, Kate Knox Stafford. I'm watching people come in. I'm just watching the comments.
Katie's here.
Yep, Katie's here.
Hey, Katie.
I'm
Shadow
gonna have to
Seekers are
talk to
here.
you
That's
after the
KT,
show.
not KD.
It's Kate.
Yep,
Katie.
KD.
Can I talk to you tonight after the show, please? Thank you.
Yeah, and
She's
we
awesome.
got Chris from Paranormal Rockdown came in.
Do you?
Hey, Chris. Get a hold of me. We got to chat. Yeah, he's from Romeoville, my hometown area.
Okay.
He's the one that's running it.
Yep,
That's
he's
it.
doing.
Yep.
Yeah, he's running Paranormal Rockdown.
Yeah, because we're Reggie and I are going to be doing speaking. I guess I'll be speaking, and Reggie he'll be nodding his head a lot.
Reggie will be doing Reggie.
That's Reggie. Star seeds are like that.
Mm-hmm. Chris says he will definitely do that.
Awesome. There you go.
That's
Trying to
right.
figure out in the center,
Where's the cameraman?
He's probably going ahead right now saying, "Who is this guy that's saying that he's going to be there working?"
I don't know. Katie said that she's going back to work. Just got to the office.
Okay, I'll call her there.
Yeah.
She'll probably throw rocks at me. But you
That's okay.
wanna just head it out? No, it's 10 minutes after.
Oh yeah, we
Whenever
kind of
you're
went over
ready.
a little bit. It's your show, man. You're
Yeah.
running the show.
I
got all night.
To you. It's up to you. Not all night.
Have a great night, Kate.
It's up to you. Whenever you want to call it a night, I'm cool with it.
No rocks. She says no rocks. She's not going to throw rocks at you.
Oh.
All right.
I should probably get going though, because I got to drive to Wausau in the morning. I need to get my beauties.
You better go to sleep.
Yeah, you need it.
I do.
Are you going?
I'm
Are
in
you going
desperate
to
need.
that big convention center there?
No, we're going to a bar and grill called Scotty's.
You're not going up there to drink, are you?
No, they're having a Kindred Spirit Fair.
Okay.
At Scotty's Bar and Grill or whatever it's called. So.
Yep. Only in Wisconsin can you get, a metaphysical fair, get a reading at a bar and grill. Or
But
outside of it in the summer.
Their food is really good. So
I've noticed that with some of these events, really good food close by or at the events.
Yep. Scotty's food is really good.
The reason I asked is because that's where our Muskie show is the last one.
Oh, okay.
Before Minnesota is in Wausau, and it's at that convention center that's just I can't remember, it's the town just south of Wausau.
Schofield?
No.
Rapids, Stevens Point.
No.
Weston?
It's just there. It's like on the south side of Wausau. But it's
Mosany,
all those little communities. No. You're right, Barbara. Bar food is the best. It snowed here, so be careful. Scotty's has great food. Thanks, April. You're right. Scotty's does have great food.
So that's how they're spelling it? SCON. So what's the name of the town, April?
Is it in Schofield or Wausau? I think it's in
just
Wausau.
On the south side of Wausau. It's where they have the big it's like a convention center, and it's got like 3 or 4 motels.
Rib Mountain.
Rothschild.
She
said Rothschild. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, that's how you spell Scotty's.
Thank you.
But it's an apostrophe. It's an ale house and eatery. So, yep, that's where I'll be tomorrow. Doing my psychic reading thing.
You can leave there, and then you can go up to the lake and go do some ice fishing.
There is nothing on this planet that is going to make me sit on a frozen lake with a fishing pole. Nothing. Not going to happen.
But you never did. You do it when you were young?
Once, and I got over it real fast.
Right.
I have a picture I have a picture with a Model T and three ladies,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like those crazy, like out of the 20s, those roaring 20s, had like a head hat
Mm-hmm.
and big coats, and one of the fishing poles was out of the back window of the car. And there was only one girl. There were two other girls were in the car, and the other one was outside.
Wow.
And it's classic to see it.
I haven't heard of anybody going through the lake lately, so it must be
Yeah.
either frozen or it's not frozen enough for people to try. So
Yeah,
when
that
I
was
was up there I want to say it was December, maybe it was November. I was up there at Blackscliff Resort babysitting the dogs, and I could hear the lake freezing. You know that sound it makes when
the
it's
thunder.
making ice? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
That was
when you gets down to those sub-zero temps, then it
mhm.
really thunders.
Yeah. This was more like creaking almost. It wasn't like the big pops, it was more like the creaking as it
You could
was.
hear it way over there, and it would come right at you like
Mhm.
an earthquake type thing.
Yeah, and I was in a cabin like right on the cliff overlooking the lake, so it was beautiful, but it was like, yeah, that was a really eerie sound as the water was freezing. I forgot
Yeah.
what that's like because I haven't been up there in so long when it's that time of year, you know? So
Have you ever run into anything now that you've been up there and going to the cabins and doing all
oh,
these
yeah.
shows? You do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of spiritual energy up there. A lot of spiritual energy. It's like I know when there are Bigfoot around. I've not seen one face to face physically, but I can feel them. It's like this sense of I need to get out of where I am right now. But it's like and it's not because yeah, I figured it out. It's not because they're trying to scare me because they want to be scary. It's usually because there's a bear or a cougar or some other thing that could be dangerous for me, and they're trying to keep me safe.
Does that happen when you're carrying your 357?
I don't own a 357. I don't own any firearms. I could do a rubber band thing, maybe
yeah,
gun.
that would stop him dead in his tracks.
Right.
Probably go right wrap around his nose. He wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, I don't do guns. Nope.
We had a spot between where we would stay and uh it would be Saner,
Yeah.
and it was the hillside it was called. And back in the day when my kids were all little, and they're all in their 40s now, so
Mhm.
this is a long time ago, we would go there for pizza, and they had this giant picture window in the back, and they would take all the scraps of the food and they would take them out and they put them on. They had this big, I don't know what size board it was. It was bigger than a 2x12, but fatter, maybe it was two of them. And they would put
Mhm.
all the scraps on the table, and the animals would come and the bears would come in. And this is like 15 feet outside the window. The last time that they allowed this to happen,
Mhm.
there was this big black bear. He was every bit of close to 350, something like that. He was really big, but he came in and he was like right out of that Candy movie, because he had a bald spot on his head, and he had a bald spot on his butt. And
Okay.
when he went to come in, he stopped, and it was really dry, and he sort of did a like this in the dust in the dirt, and then he took his head and he was rubbing it up and down on the tree, and the kids were just giggling and laughing. They thought it was so funny, and then I says, "You better be quiet, because if he hears you laughing, he may come over here."
Right.
And he would sit back. He'd sit down with those two bys in front of him,
Hmm.
and he would literally reach out and grab a big thing of food and bring it over, and then he would eat all the food. It was crazy. But that poor guy didn't make it after that
Oh,
last year because
Yeah.
they had baited him with apples,
that's
Well,
unfortunate.
and that was the last time that they fed any of them. And they did that for eons. I mean, that
Yeah.
was at least 25 years.
Yeah. My friends who live up there who have like decks or whatever, they put up baby gates to keep the deer from walking up on the decks and eating their plants.
you know, my sister's been doing that on the other side of the reservation here, keeping something up on her deck so nothing can come up there.
Yep. It's crazy. Gentlemen, I gotta go.
Okay.
But it's been a pleasure,
Christina,
and
it's been awesome. Thank you
we'll
very
talk
much.
again soon.
Okay. We'll
All
see you
right.
later.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You're going to go too, Russ?
It's up to you. If you want to hang out longer, I can.
We can stay for a few extra minutes.
All righty. Sounds good to me.
You see, Anthony says I will be communicating with the spirits here in a few.
Yeah.
So he's going to start his show up maybe. But that's really interesting. You know, I think I told you that I had that friend that was up in Canada.
Yep.
That he's the chief now up there,
Okay.
and that's out of Morrison, Ontario.
Cool.
He
Well,
was
this summer we'll have to get you up here by me. Come up and camp out for a week or so, kick it in the woods, and relax, and
either that or on the way up
you
when
know,
we go up with the family. I'll go up a day too early and just stop by you.
there you go. More than welcome to anytime.
Appreciate it,
You know.
and mention that to Barnaby.
Yep.
And see what happens with him because I always found him to be a very interesting person, and he was on a list, and the list disappeared. You know how that goes when you do
Yep.
shows every day.
Oh yeah. The man is a wealth of knowledge. He really is.
The last
Yeah.
time I saw him was on the south side of Chicago. It was the first redo of the Chicago Paracon, and it
Okay.
was done by a guy by the name of Jack Chavez.
I know Jack. I've
Okay.
gone to last 2 years. I've gone to his Paracon. I've been down there for the
Have you
last two
really?
years. Yeah. Last year I had my own table. I was doing readings. Year before I was hanging out at the caps table.
Where was he? Where where was it last year?
Same place it was the year before. Um, out in oh, what's
It's
that?
on the southwest side, like Burbank or something like that.
No, a hillside or something like that.
Okay.
Um, Rolling Lanes is right down the road from them. Um, I'm drawing a blank right now. I can't think of it. It's right off of jump off of 55, head north on Old Joliet Road, and a couple miles down on the right. You know,
Jenna and the Stars. I think that's Stars, isn't it? Yeah.
but yeah, I wouldn't mind trying a CE5 experiment up here on the reservation because technically this is federal airspace, so a lot of your air traffic you get everywhere else you don't get. You know, so I'd like to.
Friends that are on the Psychics Unite group on Monday did one up in New Jersey,
Cool.
and they had, I think she said they had like about 12 or 15 people.
Nice.
But I've been a big fan of his. You know, Stephen Greer's for
Yep.
since the beginning, and I'm glad that nothing's happened to the man. And now that this is all happening, that everybody needs to open their eyes more
Yeah.
and
Well,
understand what's.
I've said for years, to think that we're the only living creatures on this rock, it's an ignorant thought, because you have this vast universe. There's got to be life forms out there other than just us. Why would the creator only put life on this one rock with a whole universe out there?
I read something earlier, and I can't remember where I saw it on Facebook, but it was about that, or it was on TV, and it was on that show today that they had on the aliens, and it said there's like 130 different species
I believe it.
that are already here, and there's ones that are passing for human beings.
Yep, I've heard that. Also, if you look at it, supposedly there's a select group of cultures that have a certain alien gene in them. Native Americans is one of them. And these cultures are spread all across the globe. And they're the only ones that you find that particular gene in. So who knows?
That's really awesome. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it. And,
all right. Well, thanks for having me on.
It's been a pleasure to have you, Russ.
It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. And anytime you need me, just give me a shout. I'll be happy to come back.
I will. Thank you very much. And everybody else, if you want to wait for a minute, then we'll do our little goodbyes.
Yeah.
I'll let everybody know. So everybody that's been here tonight, you guys have been great. And we will all see you next Wednesday for When Spirit Connects. We should have a good show next week. I'm trying to go ahead and get a couple people as special guests for that. But everybody have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Good night. Thank you, everybody, for being here.